fight. Trying to see where the life take me, so I roll the dice. Look up to no one else, but yeah, I was shy. I got real power, Hebrew Israelite.
Alright, that you need to come out of sin. You gotta come out of idolatry. You gotta come out of fornication. You gotta come out of all manner of evil and come back to the Most High. So the Lord said, exalt the voice unto them. A lot of people, they get mad, you know, that you want a mic and you turn the volume all the way up, or that you yelling, you prophesying. And the Lord said it's a commandment for us to come out and to exalt the voice unto the inhabitants of the earth.
Right.
So read on.
Shake the hand.
Do what?
Shake the hand.
Or just stay sweet.
Shake the hand.
Just be quiet.
Shake the hand.
Read.
That they may go unto the gates of the nobles.
The Lord says, shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles.
Right.
Shaking the hand, man, you got to get on people. All right, you got to get up and you got to get on people, man. All right, imagine if the service, how you doing, brother?
How y'all feel?
We decent through the spirit. How you feeling? That's good, that's good. Grow that beard out. Grow that beard out. So what you remember last time since you've been up here?
Since I've been up here,
Yeah.
we were discussing, we were talking about the blacks, whites, no, the blacks, the Hispanics, and the Native Americans. They're the chosen people.
That's right, that's right. So you know that we're the Israelites, right? So, you know, as Israelites, what are we commanded to do as God's chosen people?
What are we commanded to do?
Yeah.
Commanded to, well, the commandments hang on two laws.
Right.
One is love God with your whole heart,
Right.
whole soul, and then love your neighbor as yourself.
Right, now how do you do that? How do you love God and love your neighbor? Because I can say I love God, you know, but I never pray. I never fast. I never do things to show my love for him. So would you agree that love is an action word? Right, so what's that action that we're commanded to do to show our love for God?
You obey what he instructs you to do.
I mean, but how do you obey? Well, yeah, it's you there, but it's something more.
You gotta read the Bible.
All right, well let's start off with.
Read the Bible and obey his commandments.
That's right. Let's start off. That's right. The commandments. Let's start off with Exodus 20. Let's get Exodus 20 and verse number 3. That's right, brother. So we got to keep God's commandments. All right, that you read about in the so-called Old Testament and all throughout the rest of the Bible. Yeah, start at verse 3. You got something called the 10 Commandments. All right, in order to show your love for God, like you said, with action, that action is going to the commandments. Chapter 20, right? 20 and verse 3. Let's read this.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 3.
Right.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Right.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images.
So when you read the Bible, it shows you actually how to love God. All right, let me get John 14 and 15 real quick. And like we said, loving God is keeping his commandments. So when you read these laws in the Bible, these are the ways on how to love God and how to love your neighbor. For example, the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments, now they're not classified as the world would think as the first two when you just say, love your God and love your brother.
Right.
When you go into love your God and love your brother, that's automatically you have to keep the 10 Commandments. Not only the 10, but the rest that's found out throughout the law and the rest of the Bible. So we're going to go through different laws and show you, according to the Lord, how you love him, like you said, and how you love your brother. So read that again.
Thou shalt not make any, thou shalt not make any unto thee any graven image,
Right.
or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is on the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
Right, like idolatry. That's what you call idolatry. Now the world would say, okay, you gotta love God, but as they're saying you gotta love God, they serve idols. You got men that serve these Greek gods, Poseidon, Zeus, Hermes. You got men that serve white Jesus. They're serving and bowing down to that cross. You got men that still bow down and kiss the so-called copperstone.
Right.
But yet they say you gotta love God. Now, in this truth, brother, when you come to the Lord, you're gonna find out that words don't justify you. Action justifies you. All right, and again, through those actions, we're keeping God's commandments. We're gonna bring out a few, because you already know that you're an Israelite, right? You know that you an Israelite?
I've heard that.
You've heard that, but do you believe that?
I'm not sure. I'm not certain.
All right, well, let's go to Let's drop that. Let's get Deuteronomy 28. So we first we want to prove to you, according to the Bible and history, that the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native American man will be Israelites.
Right.
All right. Let's get Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15.
Get out.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Right. This is Moses. Now Moses is talking to the 12 tribes of Israel. He said, if you don't listen to God, you don't hearken and do what he tells you, we don't.
To observe to do all his commandments
Right.
and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So Moses said through the hand of the Lord, if you don't do these commandments, then these curses are going to come upon you and overtake you.
Right.
Now, when you look at the so-called black Hispanic community and the rest of the world, who would you say has generational curses put upon them? It's
Generational curses.
generational curses. Through each time frame, this one nation of people, it seems like they always going through something. All right, 1 minute it may be slavery. Next minute it may be the so-called Jim Crow era, high racism. All right, another era is something else. What race of people is there?
The so-called black man.
So-called black man. That's right. There will be that so-called black and Hispanic man. You see gang banging at a high rate. You see violence. Men not being in the households. You ask me, that sounds like a curse. It don't sound like a blessing. All right, we know it? So the Lord said all these things, these curses are going to come upon the Israelites. We know it?
Verse 16.
Right.
Curse, curse shalt thou be in the city, and curse shalt thou be in the field.
So one of the curses that Moses named to identify God's chosen people said in the last days, you will be cursed in every city and cursed in the fields. So when you go to every major city or minor city, what race of people is cursed? Strung out at the bus stops, gangbanging, violence, drugs in the community. The Lord said in every city, one of these one of these nations will be cursed. All right, one of these nations will be cursed in every major city. But the thing is, when you read the Bible, it doesn't have none of these modern names that America has today. All right, it doesn't say Chinese man. It doesn't say black man. It doesn't say white man. So we read, you have to discern, okay, through the curses, what nation of people has to fit these. Again, remember, Moses, he said he's talking to the Israelites. So every curse that we're going through, it has to line up with who the Israelites are, which we're going to find out who that is, Lord willing. Jump to verse 54.
Verse 54.
Right.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate,
Right.
his eye shall be evil toward his brother.
So another curse upon the Israelites is that they're going to have an evil eye toward their brother.
Alright.
All right, now what does that sound like, having an evil eye towards your brother?
Like you hate your own people.
That's right. So it's going to be, the Israelites are going to be known for hating their own people. Me personally, I never seen a Chinese man as a race just, mean mug another Chinese man for no reason. I never seen an East Indian man jump another East Indian man. Have you ever seen that?
No.
You never seen that? I never seen East Indians do drive-bys in the hood.
I have seen East Indian women whip on their men and beat up the mistresses.
Yeah. But according to their religion, they believe in that. But nevertheless, as a nation, these things, they line up with so-called black and Hispanic men. Go to the hood, it's drive-by killings every day. Chicago got the capital of so-called murders.
Alright. So let me ask you, you don't think that, like, we all are cursed through Adam, like all humanity, period, is cursed through Adam?
Well, to an
Because of sin.
to an extent. All right, let's get Genesis chapter 3. Hold that. We're gonna go back to it. Let's get Genesis chapter 3, and I believe I want verse 20. So all mankind, to an extent, is cursed, but it's different curses in different contexts. The curse in Deuteronomy, like you have curses in Deuteronomy 27, you have curses in Deuteronomy 28, and in the book of Genesis. So when you read Genesis, it's a different curse for man and for woman than the context of God's chosen people. Now start Genesis chapter 3 and start at verse number, let me see, I'm going to start at, I believe I'm on verse 22.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 22.
Bring it out.
And the Lord God said, behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil.
Right.
And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever.
Actually, start at verse 16.
Verse 16.
Right.
Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow.
Right, because like you said, Adam and Eve went off. So for the woman, now that she has babies and conceives, that's going to bring forth pain. At first, it never brought forth pain. It was something natural. So the Lord said He's going to multiply the sorrows of the woman. Read on.
And thy conception and sorrow thou shalt bring forth children.
Right, and sorrow, you're going to bring forth children and pain. All right, read on. So that was a curse that was put upon the woman.
Before you go, I'm not going to get off the point, but just one question. Now, would she have had pain anyway? Because it said increase her pain. So would she have birth pains, but it would have just been less had she not conceived?
Well, it could have been minor pains, but how you see it now, you know, they yelling and they gotta hold the husband's hand and they gotta get these different shots to numb the pain. It was never like that. You know, back then they had babies standing. Even in certain parts of the world, naturally you have a baby, the woman should stand up, and you know the mistress and the midwives, they would catch it. It would be less pain. You know, they would just be it would be more natural. Nowadays they land on their back and they yelling and screaming and all. The husband then passing out. This videos you got the husband, the doctors passing. They don't know what to do. Then the umbilical cord all over the baby. So back then it wasn't like that. It was more simple. But now that Eve went off, that's a curse that was placed upon the woman. I was going to touch on the man, verse 17.
Verse 17. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife,
because you bowed your knee to your wife and you listened to your wife, read on,
and hast eaten of the tree, of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake, and sorrow thou shalt eat of it.
He said, cursed is the ground for thy sake, read on.
And sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. And the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread.
So it said, in the sweat of their face, now man has to eat bread. So back then, when around the time of Adam, there wasn't really no real laborious, laborious works that we had to do. The ground, it would just bring forth this increase. You go to a tree, pick it off. You don't really have to, you know, plant the seeds and, you know, the earth and fed you. Nowadays, you got to work for your labor. So that's something that was placed upon man, upon mankind. That was a curse. So that's that curse that you're talking about. That curse applies to the whole earth, to all men. You know, all men have to go to work, they have to get jobs, they have to fend for themselves. But the curse in Deuteronomy 28, that's specifically talking about the Israelites. All right, we're going to show you that. We're going in verse 54.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom.
So he said, remember, this nation of people, the eyes evil toward the brother. Now the eyes evil toward the wife. All right, you got this thing, I forgot the term that it's a new term, right? But you got the so-called black man, he's known for being this woman. All right, you just watch these different movies. They always got the men in the t-shirt, the so-called black men and the so-called wife beaters. So they try to even in TV, they put that stigma on the so-called black and Hispanic man. All right, so read on.
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
And this same man, the Israelite man, is going to leave his children. So what nation of people is known for not growing up with fathers in the house? The so-called black man. So the Israelite man is going to be known for leaving his children. Jump to verse 68.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So another curse. Now, this is the last curse. All right, the final curse. The Lord said he's going to bring his chosen people into Egypt again. Now, we looking at history as a whole, the whole children of Israel, we never fled into Egypt as a nation. So this Egypt is actually talking about America. Egypt represents bondage, slavery, or captivity. We're going to show you that. Let's get Revelation 11 and 8. So Egypt is actually a spiritual word. Why? Because from the beginning, we were physically in the land of Egypt. Moses said, y'all keep playing, I'm going to send you back into Egypt again. All right, we don't read this. Revelation 11 and 8.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually,
So this spiritual place is called what?
It's called Sodom and Egypt.
So it's going to be a spiritual Egypt where the so-called black and Hispanic men, the Israelites, is going to be sent to serve slavery, just like how they did physically in modern Egypt, or in ancient Egypt. Now back to Deuteronomy 28.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Back into slavery again with what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
We get to America?
With ships.
The Lord said that the Israelites were going to Egypt or slavery, bondage again with ships. I mean, who got led into slavery on slave ships? You look at the sign. All right, what are pictures of? Right here. All right, one nation of people got led into slavery by way of slave ships. That happened to the so-called black man. So here you go, black history in the Bible, and on the other side, got the Hispanics. They were also led into slavery by way of slave ships as well. Read on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
When you get to that destination, you're going to be sold unto your enemies. Again, you look at the sign, that's what happened. We got off those slave ships. The next step, we're getting sold off to Master Johnson. All right, Master Boyce, Williams. All right, Timothy. So guess what? These things happen to the so-called black men. But the Lord, through the hand of Moses, he's talking to the Israelites. Read on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there you shall be sold to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
The Lord said you're going to be sold for bondman, which is a slave man, a bondwoman, slave woman, and no man will buy you, meaning redeem you from your captivity. That's why we're still in America. That's why to this day, all the way from 1492, 1619, all the way to 2024, we're still in America to this day, because no nation has redeemed us out of slavery. Right. All right, where's the account of the so-called Chinese men saying, okay, hold on, that's wrong. All right, let's stack up all our money and let's deliver the so-called black men back to their homeland. Right. The Chinese man never did it. The Arab man never did it. The so-called white man has never did it, nor will he do it. And that shows that prophecy is being fulfilled to the Israelites. Now read Deuteronomy 29 and verse number 1.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29 and verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
So who?
To make with the children of Israel.
All this time, the Lord was talking to the children of Israel. So if these things happen to the Israelites, but they line up with us, then who must we be, according to the Bible? Who must we be according to the Bible? It's almost like we was just reading a spitting image of our people today and throughout history. So who is it talking about? Is it talking about the white man? I mean, has the Chinese man ever been led into slavery with slave ships? Is the Japanese man hating their brother?
Seems to fit us.
It seems to fit us. So if the Lord was talking to the Israelites, then who must we be? The Israelites. That's right, brother. Get up for the brother. All right, we the Israelites, brother. Now, you think America's gonna tell you, okay, you're the Israelites, you're God's chosen people? No, they're not gonna tell you that. All right, give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6. And this is the reason why they're not gonna tell you that. All right, Deuteronomy 7 and 6. All right, imagine. Give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6. You think America and the so-called white men in these different nations want you to know that you're God's favorite people, His holy people, chosen? Give me Sirach 33 and verse number 10. They don't want to let you know that, bro. They enslaved you.
Right.
So of course the church will never teach you that you're God's chosen people. The church is going to teach you, okay, you're all just the Gentiles. God loves all the Gentiles. Jesus is a so-called white man. He's coming to save everybody and give everyone hugs and kisses. But they will never let you know in church that according to the Bible and history, that you really are a Jew.
Right.
All right, Kanye West came out and said that we're the Jews. What happened? They took all his money.
Right.
He went from being a billionaire to a millionaire overnight.
Right.
Kyrie Irving, right? He reposted a link referring to so-called blacks as the real Jews, and they tried to kick him out the NBA.
Right.
Nick Cannon came out and said that we the real Jews. What happened to him? They threatened to take his show away.
Right.
Then he had to bow down to the so-called white man, plead, and now he got a show back. So it's the reason why you can call yourself Muslim, you can call yourself a Christian, you can call yourself a Seventh-day Adventist. But the reason, but the moment you call yourself a Jew, an Israelite, now all of a sudden all hell break loose.
Right.
Because you will really be God's chosen people, brother. All right, read this.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 33.
Deuteronomy 76.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse number 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
What the Israelite?
To be a special people upon all people,
Above all people.
above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
The Lord said that we're above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Right.
So you're really better than him. According to the Bible, you're better than him, and every other race, Gentile. The Lord said that you're better than.
Right.
Now that's not us saying it. All right, we didn't write these books. We didn't just hop in the time machine, go back, tell Moses erase that and put this in there. No, Moses said that through the hand of the Lord. We just read God's words. All right, we find out that we're the real Jews, and that the real Jews are His chosen people.
Better in what sense?
I mean, you tell me, who cooks the best? Brother, let me ask, all right, so would you rather have your grandmother cook you some food, or would you have a so-called white man or white woman cook you food? I mean, they're known for eating their meat raw. Unseasoned, no season.
I ain't gonna get that raw food.
Nah.
But
I mean, but
they
just think
make
about it,
They
bro.
make some good pizza and stuff, man.
But as a nation of people who really throw down, you ever had? I'm pretty sure you had a jerk. Like the jerk, the so-called Mexicans.
How's your mom?
Blacks, Hispanics.
Yeah.
Chinese can throw down too.
I mean, they can, but at the end of the day, they eat rats, dogs,
But I
cats.
don't.
There's a reason for that, brother. There's a reason for that. Every nation, when you really think about it and look into it, we really do everything the best with a sound mind. All right, who in their great mind would have thought, man, I want to see how that dog tastes like? I know it's my pet, but what if it just was on my plate? I never thought that growing up as a kid, but somehow the so-called Chinese man, he eating rat, cat, and dog. You got the so-called white man, they all in the bestiality. They eating all type of, they making GMO foods. You got the so-called Chinese man again, he's eating his squid. The East Indian man, I mean, they don't even shower. They don't believe in deodorant. So that shows who God's chosen people are, who the best people are when it comes to entertainment, singing, sports. Who's the best? Who's the best in that, in sports? Basketball, so-called black and Hispanic, soccer, baseball. You got the Simeonites, the so-called Dominicans. All right, they doing down in their sports. So when we really look at this world, so-called black and Hispanics, we run the world when it comes to so-called entertainment and who just outright does everything the best. That makes sense?
I mean, it makes sense. I agree that certain groups do things better than other groups. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what does the white man do so-called better than, the so-called black or Hispanic man? Besides be evil and wicked.
Depends on the group. It's like,
As a nation of people though, not like individually. Yeah, as a nation. Besides being wicked, besides being a demon and rape, robbing, and murder and starting wars throughout the earth, besides that, what does he do better than the so-called black or Hispanic man? But as a nation, if the Lord said, all right, if you want to listen to the white man music, or you want to listen to black people music, as a nation of people, which one you gonna pick? You gonna give up Beyonce? Are you gonna give up Brian McKnight? Aretha Franklin, or to listen to some country music, Justin Bieber?
No, but I do listen. I grew up on like soft rock, pop, and R&B. I listen to like variety. I appreciate like because you familiar with the Police, right?
Right.
The Police, they kind of mimic the Jamaican, reggae type. I like their music because they mix it with rock.
It's not wrong with their music. Some heathens they make the music, but as a nation we see that we do everything the best.
Right.
When it comes to any and everything, like we say, entertainment, all right, singing, cooking, etc. I mean, on top of that, we was in slavery for 400 plus years. And we still exceed in everything. Imagine you had the white man in slavery for 400 plus years. He would have been extinct a long time ago. During the first 3 years, he would have been out of there. So how much more the so-called black and Hispanic man? That shows how much greater of a people we really are. So does that make sense how you would be an Israelite? That's good. Now, as an Israelite, brother, there's certain things that's required of us to do. Like you said earlier, love God and love your neighbor. Now let's get Matthew chapter 19. Let's get Matthew 19 and verse number 16. We're going to show you what it looks like to love God and love your neighbor. All right, read this.
Matthew chapter 19 and verse number 16.
Right.
And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life?
Right, so you had this man, he came to Christ. He said, Christ, I want eternal life. I want the kingdom of heaven. What must I do to get the kingdom of heaven? Read on.
And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is God.
Right.
But if thou wilt enter into life,
So if Christ said, if you want to enter into life, all right, get the kingdom of heaven. Read on.
keep the commandments.
Do what?
Keep the commandments.
How much you receive the kingdom of heaven?
Keep the commandments.
So the Lord said, if you want the kingdom, you have to keep the commandments. All right, do you know some commandments as an Israelite?
And then he asked him, he said, which ones, right?
Right. We keep reading.
What did the guy say?
All right, let's read on.
Reading on, verse 18.
Right.
He said unto him, which Jesus said, Thou shalt do no murder.
Right?
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Right?
Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness.
So Christ is giving them commandments as Israelites that we're supposed to keep. We read on, you know, the brother said, all these have I kept. We're going to read on. Read on.
Honor thy father and thy mother,
Right.
and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Right?
The young man said unto him, All these things have I kept from my youth up.
Right?
What lack I yet?
So this man said, okay, I know, I already been doing it. Mainly those commandments is found within the 10. So he said, you know, I mean, that's milk. All right, I did that already. I do those. Right, read on. But there's one thing that he really lacks. Read on.
Jesus said unto him, If thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast,
Right.
and give to the poor,
Right?
and thou shalt have treasure in heaven.
Right, so the Lord commanded this man to give alms. This man was a very rich man. So Christ said, if you really want to follow me, you got to make those sacrifices. Now you, brother, being an Israelite, you know, it's sacrifices that you have to make. When you start keeping these commandments, you know, more things are going to be revealed unto you. Certain sacrifices that you have to let go of. Now, that all starts with keeping God's commandments. So we're going to read you some commandments. All right, let's read Leviticus chapter 11. All right, Leviticus chapter 11, verse number 7.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, and verse number 7.
Get out.
And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed,
Right?
yet he cheweth not the cud.
You know?
He is unclean to you.
Have you ever heard of swine? You know what swine is?
Pig.
It's the pig. Now read that last part again. It said, it is what?
He is unclean to you.
The Lord said?
He is unclean to you.
So the Lord said the swine is unclean.
Right.
The pig, the pork.
Right.
So according to the Bible, you can't eat pork.
Right.
Did you know that?
At all. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah. Yeah, I knew that was part of the commandments
That's
that
right.
Moses handed down to.
That's right. So you being a holy people, like we went over, a chosen people, a king walking this earth, you gotta conduct yourself like so. I imagine a king that's, you know, eating garbage. Ain't nobody gonna respect that man. That man don't even respect himself. How you call yourself a king? You at a higher state. You're ruling, you govern over the people, but you're feeding yourself all type of trash. You eating pig, you eating pork, and when you go into it, that's actually chitlins, and that's slave food. That's slave food, brother. You're not a slave. That's right. So do you eat pork, or did you ever eat pork?
I eat pork, but I don't eat it. Like these two, I eat like turkey, chicken.
That's right. That's right.
You know, stuff like that.
That's good. You want to stay away from that pork. All that ham, those hog mugs, like you said, chicken.
I thought it was like 10 points home.
That's right, turkey bacon. They got the beef bacon. They got chicken bacon. They got lamb bacon. Yeah, I never had it, but I know brothers that had lamb bacon before. Yeah, they get yeah. So these are clean meats, the ones that we named. But the pork, that's something that the Lord said don't deal with as a holy chosen vessel. Read on.
Of their flesh shall you not eat, and their carcass shall you not touch. They are unclean to you. These shall you eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall you eat.
So the Lord said, whatever come out the waters, if you want to eat it, it has to have both fins and scales. Now, what's some things that come out the waters that we can eat that has both fins and scales?
Fins and scales.
Yep.
Like
both together.
we got like certain types of fish.
That's right. That's right, the fish.
You got big perch.
Right. You got salmon.
Salmon. I eat that. Salmon,
Yeah.
perch.
You got the red. You got red snapper.
Catfish.
You said what? That's good.
I don't eat, let's say, I would know the taste of Africans and this one corner. They fix the meal.
Uh-huh.
And in the meal, it's been courteous. In the meal, it was like, those oysters.
Yeah.
They had it mixed with stuff. So I told them, like, I said, I don't eat this.
All right. Let's get Judas 12 and 1.
They had the squid, I think, shaped like
Judas 12 and 1.
onions. Y'all see the squid shaped like onions.
Yeah.
Onions, they had that in there. So I told them that I don't eat those. I eat the other stuff like the rice.
Right.
I took it out when I ate the rice stuff. I started getting having an allergic reaction.
Yeah.
My lips started getting swollen because I believe that it's certain types of seafood that I'm allergic to. Like, I don't think the clam and stuff and the squid, things like that. I think I have an allergic reaction to that. But
Nah, it's the reason for that though,
I'll
brother.
never get an allergic reaction to like, the salmon.
Right.
I can eat that.
Again, it's all the reason for that.
And I didn't even eat that stuff. It was just in there, so it was like
Yeah. Yeah. Now again, brother, all that is because you're not programmed to eat things like that. The Lord, He didn't create you because when you go into those different animals that you name, they're the filth of the waters. The same way how the pig is created to clean up the land, clean up all the dirt and the feces and the trash. Those same animals that you named, they're made for cleaning up the waters. All right, like the example we always bring out, you got the shrimp, you got the clams. When an animal takes, when an animal does a number 2 in the waters, who's gonna clean it up? The crabs, the shrimp, all right, the lobsters. And they eat all that up. They get full off of that. And then you getting full of what they just ate. So all that wickedness is going into your temple, into your body. And you wonder around, you're allergic, you start itching, lip, like you said, your lip getting big.
that's no different than eating a fly.
Yeah. It's the same thing like eating a roach. You put a roach and a shrimp next together, it's like it's twins. Just one is on the land and one is in the sea. I never seen no one, grab a roach. They hunting for it, again, they slingshot ready, and they go roach hunting in their house and they start cooking it up, season it with onion powder and garlic powder. No, you don't do that. So the same thing with the waters. Let those animals stay in the water, do their job, clean up the waters, and like you said, the clean fish that we have. You eat the clean fish, not the shrimp, but the salmon, the perch, the bass, the red snapper.
What about
Tilapia, yep. Again, they gotta have fins and scales. Yep, gotta have fins and scales. No catfish though, like you said.
no tuna?
Well, some tuna has fins and scales. Yeah, some tuna, it's certain ones. Now, read this in Judah 12 and 1.
This is the book of Judah, chapter 12 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
So you have Judah. Now, Judah, she's your foremother. All right, she's one of your ancestors. Now, she was in the same position, kind of. So you had this king, she came up this king came up to her through her beauty, and he was trying to entice her. So he made Judith this whole big meal. All right, read on.
Then he commanded to bring her and where his plate was like. Then he commanded to bring her and where his plate was set, and begged that they should prepare for her of his own meats.
Right, so you had this king, he prepared for Judith, her own meats. All right, so he made this woman all these type of foods, and he was trying to please her. So he probably put all type of seasonings and tried to deck it up, make it look nice. He trying to go in, he trying to do his thing. On the left hand side, read on.
And that she should drink of his own wine.
Right.
And Judith said, I will not eat thereof.
She said,
I will not eat thereof.
What our foremother said?
I will not eat thereof.
So Judith said, no, I'm not eating that. Right. I will not eat thereof.
Right.
Same way how you, brother, you had all that food on the plate. Guess what? You had abominations on there. Right. You got to say, I can't eat thereof.
Right.
Same thing how your ancestors did. Right. And what you going to come to find out, brother, and this is how you know that we're the people of the book. The same situations that we're put in modern day, our ancestors was put in that same situation. Right. Now the only difference is they knew how to maneuver in righteousness, and our job is to learn from their corrections, their mistakes, learn what they did right and apply it, learn what they did wrong and don't apply it. So that's why we got the precepts. Now I only have to believe, brother, if you would have walked away last time knowing that you was an Israelite, you would have never failed for that. Because through Judah, she said what? I would not eat the rub. All right, read on.
Lest there be an offense, but provision shall be made for me of the things that I have brought.
So Judah said, I'm not going to eat that. I brought my own foods.
Right.
Got my own provision.
Right.
All right, so, that's your foremother. Give me 2 Kings 4 and verse number 40. All right, give me 2 Kings 4 and verse 40. All right, you have another account of your forefathers, your ancient ancestors, the Israelites, the Jews. They was in the same position. They was eating at this pottage, and we're gonna see what happened through the Spirit.
It's the book of 2 Kings, chapter 4, and verse number 40.
Bring it out.
So they poured out for the man to eat.
So you had these men, they made food for them. So they poured out this pottage for the men to eat. Read on.
And it came to pass, as they were eating of the pottage, that they cried out and said, O thou man of God.
Oh, thou what?
O thou man of God.
Read that again.
O thou man of God.
So they were feeding men of God. These wasn't just no average people. No, these were men of the Lord. Like how you should strive to be, brother, a man of the Lord. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, your ancestors. So these were mighty men. Read on.
There is death in the pot.
What did they say?
There is death in the pot.
What is shrimp?
There is death in the pot.
What is unlawful food?
There is death in the pot.
Read on.
And they could not eat thereof.
Right, so as these men was about to eat this food, they getting down. They said, hold on, man of God, there's death in the pot. And when there's death in the pot, that means there's something wicked in there.
Right.
Something unlawful.
Something.
2 Kings, chapter 4 and verse number 40.
Yes, sir.
Right, so they was eating. That's like for example, you may be eating some Starburst. No, you may be eating some what's those things called? Some gummy bears, right? Maybe eating some gummy bears. Some tell you to look on the back, see what it's made out of.
All right.
And then you see gelatin. You say, okay, hold on. I know it's beef gelatin. I know they got pork gelatin. You look it up. Then it say Starburst, not Starburst. I keep saying it. They got gummy bears. They got pork gelatin in it. Guess what? You got to spit that out your mouth.
Right.
All right, because that's you eating pork.
Another thing, I found out. I like cornmeal chili, wolf chili. I found out that there is pork with the beef.
Yeah.
I thought it was all like ground, but it's
Oh yeah, some do that, right?
I stopped eating it. I only look for the one that say Angus meat. I look at the ingredients in the back. They don't have pork mixed in it. But yeah, the other chicken that you think is cornmeal chicken. It's got pork, ground pork mixed. And I just have to read it. I said, I don't know. I just got one that say chili that say with Angus meat.
That's good.
That's just pure,
It's good. Me personally, I didn't know that. But I know they got, you know about the Jeff Mixon, so-called cornbread mix.
Yeah,
Yeah, they got pork in it. Yeah, they got pork in it. So, you know, when you win this thing, you gotta search, you gotta find out to see what's lawful and what's unlawful. You know, you may have, like it's kind of to the example you brought out. I remember last time we had lamb chops, but the packaging was pork packaging. You know, I don't know how Esau do it. It's lamb, but they want to mix pork and everything.
Right.
But that even goes to show you how that them being, you know, the wicked that they are, they want to keep you in sin. Right. So in order for them to keep you in sin, they have to put sinful things within your food and not let you know. All right, and there's no way why these candy bars should have 1,000 different ingredients and words that you've never seen before.
Right.
Here it is, you're just thinking it's chocolate, it's a Reese's, it's a Hershey's. You turn it on the back, there's damn 50 ingredients with these long words that you never heard about before. Right. All right, so and that's again that goes to show how you will be God's chosen people, but everyone in this world, they want to keep you away from that knowledge. Right. So we're gonna bring out another commandment. Let's get Numbers 15:38. Let's get Numbers 15 and verse 38. So another commandment is fringes. Fringes is what you see at the border of every brother's garment or shirt. All right, we're going to show you what the meaning of fringes is. And when you go into the history, I don't think they got it on here. All right, when you go into the history, the so-called Hispanic man from the tribe, or from the 10 tribes, we look on that sign. You got the so-called Mexican. All right, from the tribe of Issachar. Where is it?
At the bottom.
Right here, you got the so-called Mexican, the tribe of Issachar. They would be Israelites as well. And we'll look on this sign. A lot of these tribes, they kept certain customs to let you know that they are the real Jews or the real Israelites. Same thing with us. So we're going to read this commandment. Read this, Numbers 15.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 38.
Bring it out.
These are one of the chief things that the so-called Mexicans and Hispanics wore to identify that they will be God's chosen people as well, the Israelites. So read this.
Speak unto the children of Israel,
Right.
and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments
Right.
throughout their generations.
The Lord said the children of Israel have to wear fringes on their garments throughout the generations. These will be fringes. All right, what you see every brother got on at the end of their shirt. Now it's the reason why we wear fringes. Read on.
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
Right, and everyone has the ribbon of blue on the border of the fringe. Now the fringe can be any color. Mine's white. These two brothers, they got the two-tone, the black and gray. Our brother got the beige on. Brother got the ZZ on, the black with the blue. All right, again, the so-called white two-tone, etc. Border of it has to be blue. No matter if it's navy blue, light blue, sky blue, whatever it is, it has to be blue. All right, read on.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe,
Right.
that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord,
Right.
and do them.
So the fringes is made for you to keep the commandments, remember them, and do them. For example, you may go out one day, you may order a BOT by accident. You're looking for your wallet, you end up brushing your hand against the fringes. I say, oh damn, I can't get no BOT, I can't eat pork. All right, I'm an Israelite. Right. I gotta get beef bacon. Let me remind you. Let me get chicken bacon. Let me get some turkey bacon. All right, so these fringes as a reminder for you to keep God's commandments.
Right.
All right. Now read on that last part.
That you may remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them.
So not only remember, but to do and apply these commandments as well. All right, let's get Exodus chapter 20, verse number 8. So that's another commandment. All right, you remember your fringes, put them on, and like you said, every brother has on the fringes. And that's an ancient custom of our people. And you see the so-called Hispanic man, he even wears fringes to this day. Even with the paintings, you got the fringes and the paintings. All right, you got right here. It's like I just saw it. You got right here, the sister, she kind of got the fringes, the little florries at the bottom. And like you see with the rest of the outfits with the so-called Hispanics, that's a custom that they've always kept, all the way from the days of Moses. All right, and that's some people that are the so-called black men from the tribe of Judah. That's something that we lost. But nevertheless, that's a commandment, it's like, that we have to keep in the last days. Now, that's the last commandment we're going to show you. All right, Exodus 20 and 8.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Right.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
Right.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
So another commandment as Israelites is to keep the Sabbath day.
Right.
You ever heard about the Sabbath day? What you know about the Sabbath day?
Sabbath day, it represented, it was like a representation of God resting on the Sabbath created day.
That's right.
So he commanded the Israelites that they should rest. Sabbath day.
That's
There
right.
should be no work.
So what day, if that's on the seventh day of the week, then what day is the Sabbath day fall on? Is it Monday? Is it Tuesday? Today. Saturday. That's right. It's Saturday. Now you will be surprised how many people say Sunday. Hey, people say Monday. You asking what day is the Sabbath day on? It's Monday. Some people don't say Wednesday. They say every day but Saturday. But like you said, all you gotta do is look at the calendar and it's in front of your face. The seventh day of the week is Saturday. So why is everybody going to church on Sunday? That's another lie that the Christian church in this world has taught our people.
Is there like a Sabbath for people that go to church on Sundays and they celebrate the Sabbath?
Well, the Lord said the seventh day. The Lord said the seventh day of the week. So I can't say, okay, the Lord said the seventh day, but my Sabbath is Wednesday.
Right,
It's not about what men say, it's about what the Lord said.
right.
The Lord say Saturday, the seventh day.
Like, is that a Sabbath? Are they actually observing the Sabbath by going to church on Sunday?
Well, you can only observe the Sabbath day on the day that it was appointed. So you can't say, Wednesday, or you can't say Sunday. Yeah, I know it's not Saturday, but I'm gonna call it my Sabbath. That's against the law. That's what you call breaking the commandments.
Right. But what I'm saying is like, is it the Sabbath to them? Are they saying like, this is our Sabbath, so we're going to church on Sunday? Is that are they going to church? Are they just going to worship, or are they going for the purpose of celebrating or honoring the Sabbath on that day? You see what I'm?
I see what you're saying, but now they can say that, they can say, I just do it to, because this is a day I feel like doing it. I want to serve, the Lord on Sunday. I'm gonna say it's my Sabbath. That's how I observe the Sabbath. Now the Lord doesn't deal with,
Every day.
every day you want to serve the Most High, but he what's the word I'm looking for? He penned the day specifically for you to rest and to just serve Him. Now that's not saying you can't rest on any other day, but on Saturday you can't say, again, I understand what you're saying, but that would be a wicked mindset for someone to have. Well, I know the Lord said Saturday, but I just feel like doing it this day because, I just want to. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with resting any other day of the week. You do what you got to do. But Saturday, that's the only Sabbath. That's the only day that you observe as the Sabbath. And if any man says, I want to serve it this day, or I feel like I just want to serve it this day, then they will be in sin. I'm going to show you that. Read this.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 19.
Bring it out.
For this is thankworthy, if a man for conscience toward God endure grief, suffering wrongfully, for what glory is it? If, when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently. But if, when ye do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently, this is acceptable with
I
God.
believe I'm on 2 Peter 1 and 19. Yeah, 2 Peter 1 and 19.
It's like, this is the book of 2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 9. That's 2.
Peter 1. 2 Peter 1 and 19.
This is the book of 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 19.
Bring it out.
We have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that ye take heed,
Right.
as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts, knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation.
The Lord said,
Is of any private interpretation.
so the Lord said, no prophecy of this scripture is of any private interpretation.
Right. Right.
Now you have Christians nowadays, they say, well, every day is my Sabbath day. I don't know how to keep the Sabbath. Every day is my Sabbath. I serve the Lord every day. Now again, there's nothing wrong with serving the Lord every day. You have to do that. There's nothing wrong with resting on a Sunday. You know, a lot of people, you know, they're off on Sundays. But to say that I want to keep the Sabbath day on this day because that's my off day, well, that's wicked. All right, the Lord said there's no private interpretation. I mean, you can interpret your own words of what you want the scripture to say. If it say on Saturday, it's on Saturday. Does that answer your question? All right, that's good. You know what?
Knowing, Salaki, for the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man.
Right, because, you know, a mortal man didn't just say, we went into that. Yeah. Okay, I'll praise. So a mortal man didn't just say, all right, you know, I'm gonna just put Saturday. I don't know, let me just do any mighty mode Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and a lot fell on Saturday. A mortal man didn't do that. But what?
But holy men
Holy men of who?
of God
You know what?
spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost.
So a holy man of God, through the Spirit, the Lord, he said Saturday, which means man now is to observe it on a Saturday. Even when you read the so-called New Testament, that's a heavy law that's still being pushed, is that men have to keep the Sabbath. And you had certain men that was overzealous, they wanted to stone Christ because they felt like he broke the Sabbath, you know, by so-called picking corn. Let me let Mark the 2nd chapter real quick. Read us Mark chapter 2 and verse number 20. All right, Mark chapter 2 and verse 20.
This is the book, like Mark chapter 2 and verse number 20. And it reads, but the days will come when the bridegroom shall be taken away from them, and then shall they fast in those days.
Start at verse 24.
Verse 24. And the Pharisees said to him, behold, why do they on the Sabbath day that which is not lawful?
So you had the Pharisees, they tried to get on the disciples for picking corn. They said, Christ, you know, why you got your men out here sinning? All right, why they picking corn on the Sabbath day? It was just being, you know, over righteous. There's nothing wrong with going outside and, you know, pick up a couple strawberries off the vineyard on the Sabbath day. There's nothing wrong with that. But yet these men, they tried to get on the disciples for doing that. And that shows how much the Sabbath was valued even within the New Testament. Now what if Christ, or what if the disciples would have said, I want the Sabbath day to be on Wednesday, because that's just the day I feel like serving, it's the day I rest. Those men, they would have got put to death and stoned. All right, not to get too deep, but back then, if men broke the Sabbath day before Christ came on the scene, then that judgment of them breaking the Sabbath will be death. They will be stoned, they will be killed, you know, all for breaking God's law of doing work on Saturday. So that shows how heavy that day is.
So do you all implement like stone, like among?
Hey, y'all sisters, give me the words of the Lord. Come talk to your brothers for 2
Among your
minutes.
group, like just yeah, like if somebody breaks the law, you all stone.
I give you Ephesians chapter 2 verse 11 and Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and verse number 9. So no, right? We don't, if we see someone, imagine, everyone out here is breaking the Sabbath right now. Now, if we was really keeping the law, we would have had a whole bunch of damn stones piled up to these trees, and every so-called black or Hispanic man we would have seen walk past with a bag in their hand, working out, would have been damn, not dodgeball, them stone ball. We'd have been throwing stones and casting out judgment, but we have Christ. So read this.
This is the book of Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 11. Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands, that at that time ye were without Christ, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers from the covenants of promise.
That's not what I want. Give me that's Ephesians chapter 2. Ephesians 2 and verse 11, but that's not what I want. Give me Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 9.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse 9.
Bring it out.
They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints.
The Lord said,
For grace and mercy is to his saints.
so grace and mercy came through Christ, and that's to the Israelites. So we're under the grace period and mercy of the Lord to not have us be stoned and put to death.
Right.
All right, give me Galatians chapter 2 and verse number 19. So back then, you know, like I said, men will be getting stoned. That's the context actually of Numbers the 15th chapter with the fringes. When you read Numbers 15 like we read with the fringes, you know, this man, he broke the Sabbath day. So in order for him breaking the Sabbath day, when you keep reading, he got killed. So because he got killed, Moses said, you know what? We need a commandment to help us remember God's laws. And that's where the fringes came into play. So that's how important it is, you know, to keep the Sabbath. But to answer your question, read this.
This is the book of Galatians chapter 2 and verse 19.
Right.
Yo.
For I through the law am dead to the law.
Right, so we're dead to the law. We're not under the harsh punishment of just keeping the law without any grace or mercy. All right, you know, because we go off every day. Don't just think because we up here, we teaching that, you know, we just perfect, we don't sin. No, you know, we slip up sometimes. You know, we may be on a road trip and your gas going out, but it's Saturday. You know, being wise, you have to get gas and pay on the Sabbath. Even though the law says it's a sin for you to buy and sell on the Sabbath, but through the grace and mercy of the Most High, if we got to get somewhere, then using grace through Christ, we'll have to pay on Saturday. That makes sense? So we want to just, you know, we want to just be out here stoning and casting judgment on people. So we don't need this.
For I through the law am dead to the law,
Right.
that I might live unto God.
Right, that we may live unto God through Christ. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't keep the law. That just means that we don't live just by the law solely. We live by grace through the mercy of Christ, and we have to live by the law together. That answer your question? So not to get, you know, we don't want to feed you too much before you leave, but according to the Bible, brother, what would be your race? According to history, prophecy, archaeology.
So I have to do more research. But look, this is what I want y'all to do.
Wait, hold on, brother. Hold on. You can't just fill off like that. You said in the beginning, you know, everything makes sense. So, you know, but do you believe that or you just saying that?
I gotta.
What if we went into some history?
I gotta do some more research.
What if we went into
But
history?
at least I'm being honest. At least I'm being honest. I gotta do some more research. But I don't doubt what you're saying. I'm not saying you're wrong. But all I'm saying is I gotta do some more research. That's all.
That's understandable.
But if y'all can do this for me, this might be like a project for you. If you all can give me each one of these to go through all the 12 tribes. I wish I did. They'll give me, you know, the scriptures and the history behind each one to show me that all these 12, the people that are over here are the people over here. And I want to have some information on what things, like how do you all know that all these people are these people over here?
Now we got
Get like each one of them, and I'll read all the information. I'll read all the information for all 8 of these. Wait, how many of those is
that's
18 nations.
So every 18 nation, if you all can give me the scripture and the historical reason why you all say that these are these people from the Bible, they descend from these people. Here's the 12. Each one. I'm talking about every last one of them. Blacks, them, West Indians, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans. Each one of them, I like information to show how do you know each specific one of these are the descendants of these.
no, we should do that, please. Now we're not gonna do it now. Right now, yeah.
But that's something. That's why I said it could be like sort of like a project, I guess. That y'all
Well, that's the thing, brothers. You know, brothers already did the homework and the videos. We got to fly.
Right.
Now we got to fly. Before you put up, got a flyer on the channel. you know, I don't know if the Cold-Cuts backup channel should be on there, but you know, brothers, they did breakdowns on the 12 tribes. You got something called the 12 tribe breakdown, which is breakdown showing how each tribe from Judah all the way down to Naphtali, how these people groups, so-called, and the label that the white man has put upon us, actually goes back to these respective tribes.
Right.
Now,
That's what I need.
That's right. So in the flyer, you know, so look into it. We got the backup channel on there, and you just type in W5 backup channel and type in 12 tribes or 12 tribes,
Right.
and they'll pop up. But in the meantime, like I said, we can't do all 12, so we'll just do the first one for you. Or which one do you come from? Before I ask you, which tribe would you say you'll come from?
My background is Native American.
What is your father? The scene line goes by the father.
My father, he was basically a so-called black man who had Native American ancestry.
Okay.
On my mother's side, it's Native American, African American, Black
Right.
American, and Caucasian.
Now, for your, like I said, on your father's side. Now we just gonna do the first one for sake of time, real quick. So Judah, we're gonna show you how the American blacks actually go back to the tribe of Judah. Now we got a picture pulled up. Now, what part of Africa were we stolen from? For the most part. So come
They
to
say
America.
like West Africa.
West Africa.
West Africa.
Now we got a picture pulled up. Pull up, pull up that one right there. Now, press the picture, see it. So we got a picture up here. Now this is a photo of West Africa. Okay. Oh yeah, this is exactly what I was looking up.
That's my father.
That's your father? Oh yeah, yeah, sir.
This is my mother.
So it could be, yes, it could be Gad, or it could be Judah.
Right.
So this is right here. That's the same. That's the spirit. Now when you look at this is an image of West Africa. I believe it's around during the 1400s. So when you look at this image or this map, right here, you see where it's at. What is that word right there?
Judah.
Judah. So why is it that the word Judah, which is a landmass that's in West Africa, just so happens to be the same area where we were kidnapped from and brought to America? So even when you look at these ancient maps of West Africa, you got it's some more with Ghana, Benjamin, etc. But you got something called the Kingdom of Judah. Something for you to look up. All right, the Kingdom of Judah, West Africa, or the Kingdom of Benin. It goes into how the so-called black man, who's not African, which the word would say, the so-called black man actually came from Judah. And as you see on this sign right here, the so-called American blacks come from the tribe of Judah. And before we were in West Africa, we were in Israel. All right? So that's some homework for you to do. Nevertheless, let's get Genesis chapter 49 and verse number 8. And let's get Jeremiah 14 and verse 2. So with a couple of verses, we're going to show you how the so-called black man, how you will be an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. All right? Now, does that make sense with the image? So that even off archaeology by itself, right, it shows that the so-called Judites, who are the Israelites, were dwelling in West Africa. All right, so let's read this.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse number 8.
You know?
Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise.
So the Lord said that Judah is the one that their brethren will praise. When you look at the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Judah is the top tribe out of all 12 tribes. All right, now the so-called American black. The American black is known for sin trends. All right, even though we're all the 12 tribes of Israel, even when you go into the kings in their history, the main kings came out of the tribe of Judah. Christ, he will be from the tribe of Judah. When you read the book of Hebrews. So to say, Judah, thou art who thy brethren shall praise. That's why the whole world, they want to copy the so-called black man. And we just seen last week, you had a so-called white man, he had a taper, he had a lineup, sagging his pants, walking with a lean. Guess what? He want to be like the so-called black man. So Judah, that's the one who the whole world is gonna praise and look into the fashion, popularity, music. Judah is the one that sets trends. And again, when you look at the world today, the so-called black American, he's the one that's setting all the trends. You know?
Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
Read verse 7.
Verse 7.
Verse 8.
Verse 8.
No, it's like, yeah.
Verse number 9.
Right.
Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up.
Right.
He stooped down. He crouched as a lion.
Right.
And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
And the tribe of Judah is likened unto a lion. When we look at the so-called black men in these ancient wars that we had going to the history of West Africa, the Lord compared us to a lion-like people.
Right.
A lion is when he's fierce, he's the toughest, he doesn't turn back away from any. So that's what the Lord likened us to. Right, courageous. All right, that's why the so-called black man, when he wears his beard, these other nations, they get all afraid of you. You can't have a beard when you go into their facilities in their workplace. They want you to cut it off. It's because you look like a lion. You got that fierce spirit that's behind you. So the Lord likened the tribe of Judah to what? To lions. The so-called black man, because that's the same spirit that we move in. So that's the spirit of Judah. Now we're going to read about the physical appearance on how the tribe of Judah looked like in the Bible. Read this.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14 and verse 2.
Yep.
Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish.
It said Judah, they're in mourning, they're in language. All right, read on.
They are black.
They are what?
They are black.
Are they real Jews?
They are black.
Are they white?
They are black.
The Lord said the real Jews. Jeremiah 14 and verse number 2. That's right. Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse number 2. So the Lord said the real Jews are black. Now on one fold, that's talking about the state, black meaning and mourning. But on another fold, physically, right, they call us the so-called black man.
Right.
So even all the way back then, they said Judah is black. All right, read on.
The gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
Right.
And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
Like the Lord said, Judah, they black unto the ground. When you look at the ground, it's different shades of brown. Same thing with so-called black people. You got light skins, you got dark skins. And you look at the ground, the deeper you go, the darker it is, the higher up, the lighter it is. So you have Jeremiah comparing the tribe of Judah to, dark melanated people. And that would be us. You can't read that and say, man, that gotta be talking about the white man. I knew that was talking about the Chinese man. Then now you're trying to link up how the Chinese man, God's chosen. No, that's not how it goes. So the Lord said, the Judites from the tribe of Judah, they're black. Now we're going to read about Christ. Because Christ, he came from the tribe of Judah. Look at Hebrews 7 and 14 and Revelation chapter 1. See Hebrews chapter 7 and verse 14.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 7 and verse 14.
Right.
For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
So it said it's evident, meaning it's all the evidence in the world that our Lord, Christ, he sprang out of Judah. We read about King David, King Solomon, Hezekiah, Josiah. All right, these men, they came from the tribe of Judah. So, and Christ, he came through their seed line, which means Christ would be a so-called black man. Now we're going to show you that. We just want to say it, but we're going to show you that as well. Revelation 1.
It's the book of Revelations, chapter 1 and verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
So now it's talking about the description of Christ. You have John, he's getting this vision. He said Christ had on an all green garment, and he had on a golden girdle. Give me Songs of Solomon 1 and verse 10. And start at verse number 5, actually. So what nation of people love to rock gold? A girdle was it's like a belt, for lack of a better term, like a war belt. It said Christ had on an all golden girdle. Ever seen a white man, just willingly rock a gold belt? Just got on a Gucci with, Air Force Ones to go with it. You never seen that. So, but you got Christ. Christ, he got his glorious garment on. He got on a gold belt. He doing his thing. All right, read on.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
What the Lord said?
It was white like wool.
It said his head and his hairs were white like wool. What texture is wool?
What texture is it? Texture wool.
Yeah, or what?
Like
What?
like a lamb.
Right, like a lamb. Now, does a lamb, is it just, let's say I wanted to grab a pick and I wanted to pick out, you know, a lamb. Is that going to be an easy thing just to pick out? It's nappy, it's tough, like the so-called black man. So Christ, it said his hair is like wool. It's that tough type of kinky, nappy hair. All right? Kind of like your hair, brother. Right. He said it's white as well.
Right.
So you got white, woolly hair like a grandfather. And you got white on your beard, brother.
Right.
So, you know, you moving in an image physically on a carnal level of Christ. All right, we doing?
As white as snow,
Right.
and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Everyone says that would be Christ. Brother, you can pick that up real quick. Baba Kashaw. Salam. So it said, and his eyes were red as a flame of fire. Now, everyone would say this would be Christ. All right, blue eyes, stringy hair, white man, all love and all peace, want to love everyone. But according to the Bible so far, we're reading that he got red eyes, woolly hair, a man of war. Read on.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Right.
And his feet.
And his what?
And his feet.
Read that again.
And his feet.
Now he's about to describe, right, the skin color of his feet. And his feet, we got an umbrella for the brother, real quick. And his feet,
Like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
see that? It said his feet was like fine brass. What color is brass?
Like a copper, a brown like color.
A brown like color.
Right.
So it said Christ's feet, as John is writing it. See, let me write that down. It said color of polish or fine brass.
Right.
All right, we on?
As if they burned in a furnace.
But it said it was so brown, it's almost like it got burned in a furnace.
Right.
So you take that copper, that penny, and you put it in a furnace, what color is it going to turn?
It's gonna turn dark.
It's going to turn dark.
Yeah.
So he's describing Christ as a dark-skinned man.
Right.
How come he didn't describe him as a so-called white man?
Right.
All right, describe him as light-skinned.
Right.
Describe him as pale.
Right.
No, he describes someone from the tribe of Judah, right, as a dark-skinned man with nappy, woolly hair, red eyes, coming back from war. You know, when you drink a lot of wine, you stress, your eyes, they got that red look to it. So that's how you describe Christ.
Like Woodrow, you all remember that episode of Good Times? I don't know if y'all saw Good, because y'all kind of young. Where Michael, JJ, he painted a picture of Black Jesus. And you remember that? And his mother was like, "What is that doing? No, this is the Jesus."
Right.
She
Oh,
was
yeah,
showing
I
the
think
white
what you're talking
Jesus,
about, yeah.
And Michael, he said, "Let's do it for Black History Week. Let's put Black Jesus up there." And then James, them, when they hung it up, they was like, he was hitting the jackpot, man, and stuff like that. He was winning, man. He said, "Oh man, Black Jesus doing it for us." And she was like, "Oh Lord, no!" When everybody came with good news, one person came with good news. I did this. Somebody found some money, and then another person, she was like, "Oh
So Ellie was
Lord." And
saying,
when somebody else came, she was like, "No, no, no." She was like, so she was so, you know, she was so stuck on the white Jesus that she didn't want, you know, the miracles to be performed.
That's what you call brainwash.
But yeah, that was an interesting program.
We got two more. Well, really, we got one more. So again, now these are just the verses to show you that the Jews are so-called black people. It's not even going into the history, the prophecy, you know, the archaeology and actual images on Egypt. Because I'm pretty sure, you know, we were in slavery under the Egyptians. You read that about in Exodus. Moses told Pharaoh, "Let my people go." On the walls of Egypt, you have black people as slaves under the Egyptians. How come they're not white? If the so-called white man is the real Jew, or if he's God's chosen people.
Right.
No, those are melanated images that you see, even with going into that archaeology. So read this. Now, this is King Solomon. King Solomon, he's from the tribe of Judah. He comes from the seed of David, all right, from the seed of Jesse all the way back to Judah. Now read this.
It's the book of Song of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
verse 5.
Right?
I am black. I am what?
I am black.
What Solomon say?
I am black.
Tribe of Judah?
I am black.
So Solomon said, I am black.
Right.
Can't really get around it. Give me Job 30, Job 30 and 30. That's Songs of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse number 5. King Solomon, and this was a king. So King Solomon said what? I am black. Read on.
But comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem,
Right.
as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon.
So Solomon said, I am black and I'm comely. Comely means handsome. So he said, I'm black and beautiful. What nation people say that now? I'm black and beautiful. That's us. Now jump to verse 10. It's going to furthermore show you that not only was he a melanated man, but you see our people today, how they even match up with the same spirit of our ancient ancestors. Read verse 10.
Verse number 10.
Right.
Thy cheeks are comely with rows of jewels.
So Solomon said, my cheeks, they're really comely with rows of jewels. What does it sound to have rows of jewels on your teeth? What that sound like?
Rows of jewel.
We got rows of jewels on your teeth.
It's
Like the brother behind you. All right, brother got the grills in. All right, brother got the grills in. That's what you call rows of jewels.
Right.
So Solomon said, I got rows of jewels. I got a grill. So even back then, you know, it's nothing new under the sun. They even had grills back then.
Right.
And then Solomon, you know, he was walking around, easing. Not only did he have a grill, but read on.
Thy neck with chains of gold.
He said, my neck got chains of gold. He was probably walking around, probably posing. You know, so Solomon was getting down to the spirit. You know how, you know, modern day now they got the little artists, they paint whoever, or ancient times they had the little artists to paint out certain men. And Solomon was probably posing like this. You got to hold this pose for them 3 hours to get all the details down pat. So Solomon said, my cheeks got rows of jewels on my neck with chains of gold. That sounds like a rap verse.
Right.
It's like a damn verse from a rapper or something.
Right.
And that's King Solomon, a so-called black man. We just read verse 5, he said, I am black. Then he started bragging about what type of drip he got on. That's a so-called black man. That shows that we from the tribe of Judah is the same spirit. I never seen a white man rock chains on his neck and a damn grill. And like you read, Christ had a golden belt. I never seen a white man with all that on. Gold belt, grill, chains of gold. We never seen that before. And that shows how we really will be God's chosen people. Now, I want to read this to you because that's